Okay, and welcome to PocketGamer.biz's Monetizer feature. This is where we, normally, I have to say, what we do is we play the first 5 minutes or so of free-to-play games and get an experience of the user interface, the kind of user experience, the flow, any social kind of layering that's being used, and also the kind of different techniques people are using to monetize their games, so how currency is being used and so forth. A bit different today in the sense that you can see we've started the game. So this is Infinity Blade 3, which is obviously the big release of the week. It's different in the sense that while it uses very similar free-to-play mechanics in terms of monetization, it is a paid game. So it's $7 to buy it, and for that reason, and because it comes from Epic Studio Chair Entertainment, the kind of the flow is, there's not much point in taking a video of the flow because you have lots of cutscenes, and basically I did shoot a video and it went on for 23 minutes and not a lot happened. So I've kind of just doing kind of this is just a shorter video, just looking at some of the monetization, just to get an idea about how that plays out. So this is the we're in the game here. If I tap on that circle going there, I can go on to the next kind of battle, but I'm not going to do that. So anyway, you have a look around. A very beautiful game, as you'd expect if you're paying $7 for it. So here, in between our battles, we can go into what is the kind of inventory screen, this kind of integrated store kind of system. So you can see this is my character here. I've been playing not particularly for long, maybe an hour or so. Actually, there's two characters. So there's a male character and here's the female character. I've been playing with the male character, so the female one's not particularly kind of jazzed up as much. But here we have that. You can kind of see the how the system works. So there are a lot of items. So obviously this is a swipe-based combat game. So basically the way you improve is by leveling up your character with XP, which levels up the items you have, your sword, your armour, various things like that. And also you, I mean, as you kind of play the game, you can find new items, but typically the way you get new items is to buy them. So here we can see our light swords. Move here, see heavy kind of axes. There's dual wielding weapons. So this kind of plays into the gameplay, depending kind of a little bit how you want to play. If you want to block more or dodge more. And we also have shields, helms, armor, rings, which basically give us kind of magical powers. You can see here, blind freeze, and also gems. So gems are something you put into other kind of weapons that again give kind of special power. So plenty to buy here. So despite the fact this is a paid game, it has a fully functioning in-app purchase system with much more to acquire than you could do just by grinding through the game, really. So there's basically there's a currency system is fairly straightforward in the sense there's two currencies. Interestingly though, they're both hard currencies. So by hard currency we mean you can spend real money to buy them. Often a lot of games now have a hard currency and then a number of soft currencies which you transfer the hard currency into if you want to get more of that resource. In this case you directly buy both of them, but they're used in different ways. So in this case I've got this whatever funny sword here. If I want to buy it, it's going to cost me 22,000 this gold. It's an 8 with a line through it, kind of dollar type thing. Obviously I'm nowhere near enough of that. But if I go to a weapon that that's not a good example. Okay, so this is my shield. So I've bought this. So you can see the XP here goes up to 600. I've leveled it up at 109. But if I want to master the item, so basically max out its XP, I can spend the other currency. So these are chips. So in this case I could do it because I got 83 and it cost me 50. I'm not going to do it in this case. So you can see there's kind of this dual system where you can kind of grind through, and every time you win a battle you get more XP, and then everything will level up. Similar case. So I've just bought this one, so I've not actually used it yet. So you level these things up, but kind of buy new items. That's quite a drain on your gold. So I mean, if we can go to the I've just done there. So if we go to the store, so it's kind of a standard type store. So there's two currencies. So this is the gold and this is the chips. So minimum price is 69p. That's $1.99 for the cheapest one, and then we're going up to the most expensive one. That's £69.99, $99.99. Slightly different when you go to the chips. So the minimum transaction you have here is £2.99 in the UK, which is $5 in the US. I think that's right. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, $499, and again goes up to the maximum $100 there. So using two hard currencies is actually quite unusual, and I mean, and obviously the way that the way Chair is kind of using the currencies in the game kind of makes it a bit more straightforward rather than kind of converting one currency to soft currencies and one hard currency to soft currencies. But equally, it does mean it is a kind of way of probably getting people to spend more, because you're spending two different things that you can't kind of convert between. That's the pretty kind of that's the standard kind of a thing for the inventory. Not just that, so also we have supplies. So these are effectively consumables. So this is full health. This is a potion. So this is we can see here we can buy ingredients. So again, and these are fairly cheap. Although using this currency, and when you use, you can at a certain point in the game, basically when you've finished a sequence, you go back to like a hub area, and there's a cauldron there, and you can mix up your ingredients to create your own kind of potion. So this is one I've actually used. So I've created this combat health potion. So when I do a finishing hit to finish an enemy, I get 32 health backs. So I've made that. And interestingly, when you're actually making these mixing your ingredients in the cauldron, it's a typical kind of, it's a time-based thing. So it will take a certain period of time to make the potion. And if you want to speed that up, you use some chips as a hard currency. And we've seen that in lots of games in CSR racing. If you want to upgrade your car, often that takes time. So obviously time-based mechanics is something used quite a lot. Also have keys here. You buy keys. So in the game, there are kind of locked. There are kind of chests knocking around. Some of them are unlocked. Some of them are locked. Have items in them. So there's like another layering here of you find some keys, but also you want to buy some keys to get certain items. We've had a look at the ingredients. This is good. I don't really know what this map thing does. So I've only found one map. So if I look at it, this is quite funny. Exactly, I've no idea what the map thing is. Presumably it will feed into some point of the plot, but there's a few maps there you can buy, spend a reasonable amount of money. And then this is another kind of thing we're seeing a lot of in games. I mean, I guess in the more free-to-play games you're having a lot of kind of things, kind of a lot of monetization methods put into the game in a not a very holistic manner. So often people use daily slots, so it's encouraged people to come back and play every day, because they get some currency or some item in the game, and it's just like a slot machine thing. And this is a bit, you could argue whether this is holistic or not. So you just find these prize wheels in the game, and then if you can I buy one cheap one? No, it's a bit expensive. But when you buy one, you play it, and it just spins around, and it gives you a random item, and then it's used up. So that's again another kind of as I tend to be calling that, kind of monetization, kind of layering system, in the sense that it's kind of random. You don't really know what you're getting. I'm not really sure people would spend hard currency to get them, because it's kind of quite opaque. If you want an item, you just obviously go and buy it. But anyway, it kind of shows the full level of what Epic are doing. So skill system. This is purely gameplay. So you win points, skill points that you can build up across this tree. You can't buy these at all. Here's the stats of my character, and And then this is quite a nice thing actually. I've not seen this used before. So these are the achievements, effectively the achievement system in the game. So this one, do 250 parries. So I've done 233 so far, but when I get to that level I'm going to get 50 chips for free. So that's the way I think at the start of the game, obviously when you people are tending to do finishing these achievements, you're making sure at the start of the game they're getting a lot of currency. I mean, particularly I think with the game, a paid game where you're paying a relatively large amount of money, $7, you want to make sure the early experience isn't too grindy. Obviously you want to make sure it's not ungrindy, because you do, at some point you do want to monetize even people who've paid $7. If they're enjoying the game, presumably they might want to go a bit faster and spend some money. So yeah, so as you can see, kind of an interesting kind of hybrid model going on here with Infinity Blade 3. I guess what's most interesting, obviously at the moment it's rising, it's had a lot of downloads, so it's high in the charts because every time, effectively, its average revenue per user is $7, even though they never do anything else, because that's what they're paying to get into the game. We'll have to see over the next kind of weeks and months how the in-app purchase revenue stream kind of compares. Obviously the problem with something like Infinity Blade 3 is it's not free, or any paid game, it's not free, so you're limiting your audience probably by a factor of 50, 100, something like that. So you just don't have a large enough kind of user base for, even if they're having quite a high level of kind of spending in the game, for it to rank, certainly in the US top grossing. But that'll be something we'll be looking at in the coming weeks.